What's up, everyone? Tera Roberts and Howard Bender here for your Thursday night pregame show. We are super excited to be taking your questions live in the Fantasy Alarm Discord. Jump in there right now in the live stream Q&A. Get your start-sit questions in right now. We do start-sit questions, rest of season questions, trade questions, DFS questions, all of the questions. Please submit them into the Fantasy Alarm Discord. And we are previewing tonight's game between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. Yeah. I mean, do we have? I guess we have a lot. We can talk a lot about it. We can laugh about it. I think the big question here, though, Howard, will anybody score a touchdown? Are we gonna get a touchdown this week?
You know what? I'm gonna give a touchdown to Brian Robinson tonight. Right? That's
like
the
it.
guy. Literally, the only reason I'm watching this game is because of Brian Robinson. I took the over on his 47.5-yard rushing yard prop, just to have a little skin in on it. I have him in a couple of leagues, and I was like, you know what? Listen, why not? When you lose Javonte Williams and you lose Rashad Penny and you lose other backs like DeAndre Swift is on a bye week and Derrick Henry's on a bye week and Dameon Pierce, who I have a lot of, is on a bye week. You're sitting there and you're like, do I go with Tyler Algier or do I give Brian Robinson a look? And, and the thing about Robinson is before coming into the season, he was their lead back. Antonio Gibson's ADP was between the 8th and 10th round. Robinson was climbing up. We knew he was going to be the early down guy. We knew he was going to be the goal line back. And the dude got shot twice. Bounces back from it, is the lead back last week, announced today as the lead back. Give me just give me that feel good, love this story, want to give the guy a huge hug. And win or lose tonight on any prop or pick with Brian Robinson, I really don't care because sometimes there are things that are bigger than the game and the betting. And so for that, I wish the one touchdown that will be scored tonight. Right? Didn't you build all your showdown lineups with the two defenses and the two kickers and Brian Robinson?
I did. It was yeah. Well, that's what I I haven't put them in this week, but that's what I did last week and it worked out. So are we repeating? Like, are we going to repeat same strategy?
We might have to. We might have to do a rinse and repeat on that one.
Double defense was amazing last week.
Oh. So funny. It's like we get teased with some of these like really juicy primetime games, and then all of a sudden, then they turn around and they just like, boom. Here's Bears Commanders. I mean, I guess if you thought that Justin Fields was going to blossom this year, and hey, maybe Carson Wentz for the first time in his career doesn't suck. Well, then okay, here we go. Other than that, I can't imagine why this game would be sitting here even in a prime time, unless they were just like, oh my God, we got to just get this game out of the way. Put it on Thursday. They'll forget about it by the time Saturday rolls around.
I don't know, man. I can't fathom what was going through their minds on like at what point and thinking like, yeah, this is the storyline right here. Because especially there are a lot of revenge games going on this week too. So I mean, you could have built all kinds of narratives. I don't understand the scheduling on this one, but I'm with you on the Brian Robinson thing. I'm not I don't know if I'm bold. No, from my perspective, he is the clear lead back. It's wild how that immediately came into play. No questions asked. We've got Ron Rivera over here talking about, Antonio Gibson on kick return. I mean, he's not even trying to hide it or trying to fool teams. He's like, this is our lead back, Brian Robinson. This is our pass catching back, J.D. McKissick. And here's Antonio Gibson. We hope that he's going to really put some pop into the return game for us. Yeah. And that's it's wild how that happened. So I don't know if I'm bold enough to get him into my fantasy lineups, but I'm loving him in the props and DFS tonight. It makes sense with Brian Robinson to go that direction because the Chicago run, you want to run on them. So is there anyone else that you're feeling in this game, or is this just a complete nightmare? I mean, we'll build our lineups later, but is this from a fantasy perspective? Is there is there a single player that you feel kind of positive about?
I- just you know, and this is yeah, I try to be a good person, Tara. I really do. And I try to be nice to everybody. You know, sometimes people get under your skin and you kind of snap you Devontae Adams them mentally, right? You know, I'm not doing it
Yes, for sure.
physically here, but mentally you Devontae Adams in the tunnel, these people. Um I feel like nothing would make the only thing that would make me as happy as a Brian Robinson touchdown is 122 yards and a touchdown from Darnell Mooney.
Oh, that
I
would be wonderful.
I mean, I'm not using him anywhere. I'm not starting him anywhere, but he is stashed on several benches because my philosophy is if and when the Bears do get it, then I have their number one receiver. Targets, 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 targets. That's
Yeah.
opportunity. That's what you want. That's why you don't sit there and say, "Oh, let me swap him out for Romeo Dobbs, and let me now swap Dobbs out for De'Ami Brown. Let me swap De'Ami Brown out because I need a new tight end or second tight end because my first one sucks." Like instead of doing that, Mooney's just sitting on my bench, and if it
Yeah.
happens, great. If I absolutely need that roster spot, like I know that I need to pick up somebody to start, then I'll lose him. But until that time, no. And because of that, like that's just it just makes me want him to go off so bad for all the people that just crapped all over him.
Same, same. Yeah, I get a lot of. I do a cut video, and people are, why is Mooney not on the list? He's not going to be on the list. I can't advise to to cut a wide receiver one. I can't do that with him and DJ Moore. You gotta just keep them on the bench. I'm not telling you to start them, but just keep them on the bench. So I'm of the same mindset that we're holding on because there is the possibility here. Although in one deep dynasty league, I do have both Terry McLaurin and Darnell Mooney going tonight. So pray for me. Pray for me in my like 5 flex league that something happens here. So sad.
For you, I hope it does happen. I hope somebody breaks out and does something nice and positive. I already built my showdown lineup. Like it was that easy. It really
Yeah.
was. Kickers, it's defenses, it's Robinson and it's Mooney.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean to spoil the surprise for anybody, but I mean I don't think you can get grosser or grimier than that lineup right there. How many people are going to
Yeah.
use Mooney?
Mine will be similar, but I am gonna go in a slightly different direction. But
Ooh.
we'll get to that.
Good,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good tease. That's a pro tease in this business, folks.
Yes.
Pro
So stick
tease.
around. All right, this fantastic game. I don't know if we have any more to cover on the game, but we can go ahead and jump into the live stream because I see questions already filling up in there. Thank you guys so much for putting them in the live stream Q&A section. We'll go ahead and start off. And we've got Cam Greasy. Not sure what to do with Najee. Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. So not sure what to do with Najee. Don't think I can flex Elijah Moore, Mike Boone, or Tevin Coleman over him. Rest of my options are on bye or injured. Yeah, bye weeks and injuries are hitting hard. So Najee, Elijah Moore, Mike Boone, Tevin Coleman. Are you still starting Najee or any of those guys more interesting to you?
I mean, I have to start Najee over these guys.
Yeah.
Bell cow back gets the touches. No, it's been miserable for him and Pittsburgh, but we know it's gonna be miserable moving forward as until Kenny Pickett really starts to click. And once Kenny Pickett clicks, then all of a sudden, well, I mean, you also need the offensive line to do a better job run blocking, but I don't think Najee's value is dead. I could not like I would need to delouse myself if I started Elijah Moore, Mike Boone, or Tevin Coleman over Najee Harris. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, Elijah Moore, we're not looking at more than four or five targets from him, unfortunately. But Tevin Coleman, that's more of a kind of hit or miss. Mike Boone does have a good matchup against the LA Chargers with that awful run defense, but you got to go with the one that is not, in theory, splitting carries. We do see a little Jalen Warren, but hopefully, speaking of Kenny Pickett, I was very encouraged by what I saw, and I'll tell you why. 52 pass attempts. That is wild when you think about it, because what it's telling me is that Mike Tomlin, who's obviously a fantastic coach, knows what to do with a young quarterback and wants to actually give him the opportunities to work through his problems and not Justin Fields him and keep him at 20 or below. So I was kind of encouraged by that. I think, it's a rough schedule, but it's heading in a positive direction overall. So I don't think you have to abandon ship over these Pittsburgh players.
No, I don't either. And as far as the receiving core goes, maybe it does blossom a little bit more. Chase Claypool had a lot more targets.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, 52 pass attempts. Everybody's going to have more targets, but I think that we're in a situation where Tomlin knows that his team's going to be getting beat a bunch, and he's got to just kind of go for it at the tail end. And Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson made their bones as garbage time players for Jacksonville. Garbage time points count just as much. And if Kenny Pickett is legit going to throw, I won't even say 52 times. If he's going to throw 40 times a game, 40 to 50 times a game, I'm in for that, because some of those are going to get caught, and then doing so also, once he does start gelling a little bit more, then that's going to help open things up for the running game, because right now teams are like, we can go with a little one-on-one coverage. We don't have to worry about too much, but let's make sure that we don't get beat by Najee Harris.
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. Next question from Nixie 2021, PPR, Elijah Moore or Eno Benjamin?
Oh, I love Eno Benjamin this week.
Me too.
Right? You want to say why you love him, or you want me to say why I love him? You go first.
Seattle's defense. We love anyone playing against the Seattle defense.
Yes, we do.
I think we talked about this last week. There's certain teams that when you see them pop up, you're like, oh yes, start that running back. It makes so much sense. I mean, I know we've had a little bit of vague news from Arizona regarding the other running backs, but the indication of the practice squad signings and very quickly, they're very aware of who's actually going to be available. And I really think it's only going to be Eno. So if he's the only active back, you got to go that direction.
You have to. I was going to say that, right? They brought in Tyson Williams. They signed him off of, I think, what was it, off of the Ravens practice squad? And so that tells me that James Conner isn't playing. That's what, and I've been saying this to people. I said, Eno Benjamin is a great grab right now, and stash if you definitely know that you need a running back. I don't want you to pick up Eno Benjamin, because he could, for all intents and purposes, just be a 1 week wonder. Nothing wrong with that. If you accept the fact that I'm going to grab Eno Benjamin, I'm going to use him this week, and then I'm going to dump him next week because Connor will be back and the situation will be totally different. For some people, if you don't need to use Eno Benjamin, and he's only usable if Connor is out. No, he's okay if Connor's there, because I think Connor will just be limited, but more so, he's got the high value against Seattle if he is the lead back in that offense. So if you've got a good team, if you're not thinking, I'm going to start Eno Benjamin even in my flex, then don't bother. Don't make that pickup. Don't waste the fab. But if you think that you might have to use him because you've got DeAndre Swift or Dameon Pierce or
Derrick Henry, we've got a lot of good buys here for running backs. Javonte Williams. And we're in tragedy time period for running backs, and you've got the opportunity to do a 1 week pickup for this guy, get your win. Yeah, I'm in on it for sure.
You know, it was brutal for me. I ended up, I picked up, I drafted obviously Javonte, then Javonte went down, and I added Rashad Penny. We only 3 bench spots in the league. Yes. So that's, so that there are a bunch of guys who are still sitting out there. And so I grabbed Rashad Penny, and now he went out. And I was like, ugh. And I couldn't get Kenneth Walker, and I missed him. So I got Brian Robinson, which is why he's going to score a touchdown tonight.
Yes. I didn't get Kenneth Walker in a single league other than Dynasty where I had him, but it was elusive, hard to acquire this week.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to go for broke for Kenneth Walker, then that was what it was. Like you had to go for broke for Kenneth Walker. The league that I didn't get, I got him in one league with a pretty substantial bid. I mean, I'm like, I have probably maybe 20% of my overall budget left after having to go in and grab Kenneth Walker. I think maybe it's only like 10 to 15% of my budget left. But like, here's the thing. I get it. Pete Carroll likes to run. But Seattle's going to fall behind a lot. And I think everybody just assumes that he's going to do what Rashad Penny did to Detroit. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of Kenneth Walker truthers, and I love the player. I really do. I think he's a quality back. But I'm tempering my enthusiasm to the point where I'm not going to crazy overspend for a guy because we still don't know. And this Seattle offensive line, really not that good.
No. Exactly. And a lot of it hinges on if he can actually, or he can catch passes. It's not on him. Will they let him catch passes? That is a big tipping point for me. All right. Next question. From Obi-Wan, Outlaw, need a tight end streamer looking at Evan Ingram, Tyler Conklin, and Irv Smith Jr. One of those I don't like, and two others I'm like, because they've got, matchups this week. I'm not in on Conklin. Sadly, I think he's gone to the wayside in that Jets offense now. So it's between Ingram and Irv Smith, and I kind of like both of them. My gut's telling me that this might be an Irv Smith touchdown game. So I think I lean towards Irv Smith.
Okay. I have no problem leaning towards Irv Smith. I think these guys are all completely interchangeable. I think they will see very similar between Irv and Ingram. They'll see a very similar target share. I feel like the results, neither one of them has a matchup that like substantially pops for me, right? Minnesota's going up against Miami, and the Jags are going up against the Colts. So if Shaq Leonard plays, it makes it a little difficult for Ingram.
Yeah.
So you have to worry about that aspect. But when you look at Irv Smith, what kind of a target share does he really see? Is he going to get enough of those looks? And what happens if just Miami is just terrible? Not to mention that there's always the Miami flu that everybody seems to come down with when they're there.
Yes.
So like that's my thing about tight ends. I mean, really, it doesn't matter. And you guys out there need to stop constantly rotating tight ends. You need to stop having 3 tight ends sitting on your roster. Like that to me is insane because what do? You sweat this matchup each and every time, and the guy you start scores 4 points fewer than the guy sitting on your bench, or the guy that you start scores 10 points fewer than the guy who's sitting on your bench. Whatever the case may be, these guys are, and I declared this because, so here's the thing. It's on Twitter, part of my love letter for the Fantasy Alarm Show, where I basically said that, the whole tight end whisperer thing, it all started in 2017. I don't know. Have you ever heard that story, the story of what happened?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I picked 15 out of 16 tight ends that year, right? Started off with Austin Hooper, used just trash like Eric Ebron when he was with Detroit. And those days are completely over right now. Being able to sit there and pick a different tight end, they're so grimy and gross. If you don't have Kelsey or Andrews, good freaking luck. You get a guy like Gerald Everett or Dallas Goedert or Zach Ertz, and you get that guy, and you hold on to him.
You hold on.
Hold on to him tight. You don't give him up. You don't need it. The only time you're not using him is when he has a bye week or if he's dead.
Yeah.
But that's it. Stop with this constant rotation of tight ends. It's so pointless. So, I mean, you felt the touchdown for Irv Smith. I feel the touchdown for Irv Smith. Book it, Purple People Eaters.
Yes, let's do it. Completely agree. Next question from Ho for Show. Standard.
She was a hoe. Oh, show.
Yeah. Standard 1 QB. Would you start Mooney over Godwin, Devonta Smith, or Singletary?
No.
No,
No.
I would not.
No.
I would not.
Next.
Godwin and Devonta Smith all day, and Singletary. It's a fine matchup. So.
I don't even need to break that down.
Yeah.
That is grimy.
We like Mooney. We like him on our bench, and we hope for the best for him. But we're not trying to,
All right, play him in DFS if you want to.
Yeah. From Lentil, full PPR, start Brian Robinson over Jerry Jeudy or Alec Pierce in one of the flex spots.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of because I'm kind of out on Jeudy this week.
Are you? Then would you start B-Rob over him?
Although I might do that, but not over Alec Pierce though.
No, I think we're on to something with Pierce and Ryan. I think they have a decent rapport.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So, yeah, over Judy's fine, but Pierce, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Next question from Unknown Comet 84 PPR. Who would you start? Curtis Samuel, Romeo Doubs, or Jacoby Myers? PPR kings right here.
Well, Dobbs is not a PPR king.
Well, you're right. I gave him one crown for one game.
I kind of feel like I'm going to tilt Samuel here. Scott Turner loves using him in multiple situations. He uses him on the rushing aspect with the jet sweeps and the end arounds. He gets the short passing work. You'd like to see him get into the end zone a little bit more consistently, but in a PPR format, I know that Jacoby Myers is going to be hit with a bunch of targets as well, but I think it's a better secondary in Cleveland. I don't know if Denzel Ward has cleared concussion protocol, but I do know that they were talking about getting Greedy Williams back. So, I mean, it's close, but I'm going to edge to Samuel.
You make some good points. I still think I lean Myers, but it's super close. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong either way. They're the same. They're the same person.
Bill Belichick's like whispering to Bailey Zappi. He's like, "You threw to Myers like 8 times last week. You're not allowed to do that 2 weeks in a row."
No.
How about this? Let me ask this question, because this is kind of funny. And this is the question is do you use the Patriots defense in, like, say, DFS or stream them? Because I get it, right? Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, love. Patriots struggle against the run. You know that's what they're going to do. Belichick likely to scheme heavily against the run. But here's the thing. He had Jacoby Brissett with him for a couple of seasons, right?
Yeah.
Does Bill Belichick sneak in, like implant a microchip into every single one of his players' head so that he can live rent-free in Jacoby Brissett's head anytime they play against each other? And so does Bill Belichick know all of Jacoby Brissett's little weaknesses in the sense and turn that around? I hope not, because I'm taking Cleveland minus 3 points.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not. It's a possibility. I mean, we would get. I can see a script where Chubb has an excellent day, but the New England defense is still very good from a fantasy perspective and point scoring. So yeah, I can see that. It makes sense to me. Next question from Jock10101. Hey, Howard and Tara, hope you're both doing well. Thank you. Hope you're doing well too. For half PPR, please pick a running back and flex between Mike Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Brian Robinson, Cam Akers, AJ Dillon, Eno Benjamin. I think I know exactly where we're going.
You know exactly where we're going? Well, I think we both want to get Eno Benjamin into that running back slot.
Yep.
And if suddenly at the last minute James Conner comes back and plays, you could pivot to AJ Dillon if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Against the Jets. So I think we're holding steady right there at the running back. And then the question is where do you want to go with the flex?
Flex.
I mean, I like both. I mean, Williams, we got to check his health because I think he landed on the injury report during the week, but it's Monday night. And I like Ayuk in this matchup. I do.
Yeah.
Against Atlanta?
That's tough. It's a good matchup, and I am advocating for Jimmy G as a streaming option if you're desperate. Since Geno is no longer a streaming option, he's a starter that is like massively rostered now. So you're looking at Jimmy G and below for streaming options. Yeah, I still lean towards the Mike Williams. I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit with him, but yeah, Brandon Ayuk's not the worst option in the world.
Okay, so you were rock solid. You were Mike Williams, Benjamin without wavering, and I gummed it all up with the whole injury talk. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm very fixated on the fact that I have zero belief that Keenan Allen is going to play. So yeah.
As a Keenan Allen owner, thank you for saying that, Tara.
Yeah. Well, you know that dynasty team I mentioned with both Terry McLaurin and Darnell Mooney. It also has Keenan Allen.
This team's amazing. It's got Josh Palmer.
My poor team, and my poor running back, or my poor wide receivers. Yes. Next question. Moving on from my sad underperforming dynasty team. Hance 03. Would you play Brian Robinson over James Robinson or Melvin Gordon half PPR?
I would not. Can we still get a revenge game narrative from Melvin Gordon against the Chargers?
I'm in.
And everybody runs on the Chargers.
Exactly.
So I'm fine there. And then James Robinson. All right, where do you stand on the whole Travis Etienne outsnapped him over the last 2 weeks, and everybody seems to be thinking that Etienne is the new lead back in Jacksonville, which I don't. I'll just say it. I won't tell you like the details, but I'm not of that life. I'm Mrs. James Robinson. If I could marry him, I would be Mrs. James Robinson. I would be okay with that.
So where I stand with this is that I don't think it is one person taking over the other. I think it's going to bounce back and forth all season long, and you get too comfortable thinking these 2 weeks right here, it's going to be, we've got it. We know it's Travis Etienne now, and we're going to get fooled at some point, and it's going to bounce back to James Robinson. I have a hard time believing that 2 games will make Doug Peterson phase this man out completely. So I'm still in on I know that we should have had a great Robinson game last week and we ended up not getting that, but I still think that in fine. Yeah, man. I don't feel so bad about taking the L because everyone did. I feel like that was everyone's favorite start. Mm-hmm. James Robinson. We all took the L on that one. But yeah, I'm not out on James Robinson completely. I think it's going to go back and forth. I don't think you have to completely abandon ship on him.
2 weeks ago, they played from behind the entire game against the Eagles. You've got Etienne. He's your pass catcher. He's the guy you're supposed to like run out in space. James Robinson got game flowed out of that game. Sadly, he also got game flowed out of this game against Houston. Because they could not run on Houston. And so you got to go into a little bit of more of a pass catching mode, and you need the versatility that ETN gives you in that sense. And so, yeah, I look at this matchup here against the Colts. I can't say that ETN's going to be getting more work. I'm willing to bet that it's more of a James Robinson type day for him. So that's why I'd go with him and Melvin Gordon over Brian, even though I love Brian.
Yeah,
want him to be great.
I think that makes sense, and I know people get concerned over the yards per carry and whatnot, but I mean, we see that with Joe Mixon, we saw that with Austin Eckler earlier, and it can, a lot of times it's not 100% the running back's fault, and if they're still able to break off those big runs like he was, I don't think we can completely knock that out. So yeah. Poor James Robinson. I don't think people abandoning ship a little bit too quickly on that one. Next question from Hanso3. And are we worried about Patrick Surtain covering Mike Williams? Would you play Mike Williams over Curtis Samuel?
Mike Williams for me all day over Curtis Samuel. I'm not worried about Surtain. There's some guys you just stop with the whole these matchups better than the coaches do. This offense funnels targets to Mike Williams. Don't overthink it. Surtain isn't going to be shadowing Mike Williams and shutting him down. Mike Williams will be just fine. Just fine.
Agree. Next question from Home Run, Melvin Gordon or Eno. Full PPR.
Well, this is a great one, right? This is the ideal setup, right? You can sit there, you can wait on the James Conner news. If Conner's out, you start Eno. If Conner's in, you got MG3 going on Monday Night Football against his old team.
Perfection.
Done.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
Bibbidi babbidi boo.
Next question. Yes. Next question from Lentil. Full PPR, flex spot. James Robinson or Travis Etienne this week? Already starting Eckler and Walker at running back. So flex spot.
I'm going J-Rob. That's it. I'm drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go with you. It's a toss-up for me. I will lean your direction on that one. Deslurry 1. 2 questions. First question. Need 2 in PPR between Hunt, Thielen, Dobbs, Elliott, or Latavius Murray?
I'll just go with the first 2 in Hunt and Thielen.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, agree with that one. And then need 1 in PPR between Thielen, Claypool, Noah Brown, Mecole Hardman.
I'll lean Thielen. Miami struggles against the slot receiver. We've seen it a number of times. You've got Xavier Howard on the outside, Nick Needham on the other side. Or no, I think Coho works the other side, and then Nick Needham works out of the slot, and that's just he's not good. So I'll stick with Thielen.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, you need to lean on Thielen in both of those for sure. From Deslurry 1, one more question. Seahawks, Miami. Okay, so defense is Seahawks, Miami, Falcons, Panthers, Chargers, or Jets?
Well, it ain't the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You want to see a team give up a quick 40 spot? There you go.
Yeah. I lean away from that. And I wonder if this...
Do the Panthers entice you at all, knowing that you've seen some Ram, right? It's the Rams, right? The Panthers against the Rams.
So I think so. I have not kept up with their injuries, but I think J.C. Horn is.
Oh, is he?
Is potentially out. I don't know. I cannot. He got injured, but I don't know if he's an in or out or questionable. But so, and I think there was someone else as well. So I think that's the only thing that makes me slightly worried about the Panthers defense. But I mean, it is Matt Stafford struggling, so it is possible that whoever they bring in. Yeah, I think of that grouping, the Panthers might be the best bet, or maybe going with the Jets, possibly.
Ooh, really?
Maybe.
Against Aaron Rodgers and your Packers?
Maybe going off of maybe like I don't want to say he's going to throw a lot of interceptions, but maybe like just a lower scoring game in general, like just a safer bet. Are either one of these teams going to pop off? I mean, this should not be an air raid kind of situation between these two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Panthers does make the most sense. And if not, then I think the Jets.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if I mind the Chargers, given the fact that Denver just stinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Chargers could be good. I mean, I know it sucks not having Joey Bosa out there, but still have Khalil Mack and that pass rush. Russell Wilson does take a lot of sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to lean Chargers. But there you go.
That would make sense too.
I think we've had enough defensive talk.
Yes. Question from... Yes, I know. From Caliber Reigns. Should I drop Antonio Gibson for Jacoby Myers? Running backs are Algier, Walker, Swift, and Jamal Williams. It says that. It says that.
I was actually going to ask you this very same question, not necessarily Jacoby Myers, but when you were talking about it earlier, when we were talking about the game tonight, are you ready to drop Mr. Special Teams now, Antonio Gibson? Are you ready to part ways?
I am okay with parting ways in shallow leagues with him because I don't think so he's a handcuff, but the problem is that he's a bad handcuff. This is not a high upside handcuff because we know exactly what we can get out of him at best if he is the main guy, if Brian Robinson were to go down. So this is not a situation where we're holding an Alexander Madison for a home run hit. So yeah, I'm okay with dropping Antonio Gibson in shallow leagues at this point. Especially, and I said if Jacoby Myers is on waivers, then yeah, for sure. I think I know that for sure you're okay to grab him, and you've got somebody that you will actually get double-digit fantasy points from, and that's not a huge reality from Antonio Gibson. So yeah, I'm okay with it.
All righty.
Oh man, it's tough to say that. It really is because you want to.
Do you need to take a moment? Do you want
It is.
Should I grab a prayer candle over here and just light it for you? Because
yes.
that was rough. Are you okay?
It was rough. It's rough because it's hard to advocate dropping running backs, right? I mean, it's hard to advocate dropping running backs, but unfortunately, we're at that point with Gibson, and I just feel bad for him. I feel bad because what did he genuinely do? I mean, he wasn't fantastic last year, but he played through an injury the entire season. I mean, he toughed it out. I'm really curious what he did on a level to just kind of elicit this you're done, man. I mean, because even when he was used in the preseason in the pass game, he looked so dynamic. He was good. So to what degree is Ron Rivera saying, I just straight up don't want to use you?
I don't know. You're talking about the same guy who, when asked why Washington's development hasn't been as strong as the other teams, and he was like, it's quarterback. It's the quarterback. My quarterback sucks right now, right? We've got Carson Wentz here under center. The idiots before me, they had Dwayne Haskins. I don't know what they were thinking with that. So, yeah, it's the quarterback situation here. So, Ron Rivera, God love him, Riverboat Ron, but, man, you get into his doghouse, it's tough to come out.
It is. Oh, man. We can't all be Curtis Samuel.
We cannot.
He loves him so much. He loves him. Next question. Yeah, let's do some more questions here. From R.R. Rouse. I was offered Kyle Pitts for my second round pick in 2023. In 12-team PPR Dynasty League, should I do this? Yeah, I would do that.
I would do it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dynasty. It's a good price. It's a very good price. You will never get that price again, probably. We say that probably all the time, but
No, but that's true, right? Getting a second round pick. That's a good. It's in a dynasty format. I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that.
For sure.
What's next? Who's
from
next?
Javansak? Do I trade? Do I trade Akers and Pickens for Travis Etienne and Keenan Allen 10-man PPR dynasty? Ooh,
100% yes.
Ooh,
I'm in for that. I'll take a look at Etienne next year and Keenan Allen if he's healthy. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, you hate to give up Pickens, but I mean, sure. Akers to ETN. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall kind of with this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And then start 2 running backs. Big question. Okay, start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Running backs are...
Oh, he's just saying that this is what they do. They start...
Oh, okay. No, you're right. That's the lineup. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. All right. Yes. I was like...
Sweet. Now we can go to Hans's defense question.
Yes. Have the Pats. Have the Pats DN now. Would you play any of these over them? The Bears, the Commanders, or the Browns?
I do like the Bears tonight. I'm not gonna lie, I like the Bears tonight, but I'm fine just leaving the Pats D in there as well.
Yeah, I agree. Because what you were saying earlier make complete sense. That it's. I can see a reality in which the Pats defense is perfectly fine, if not have some upside there, with Jacoby Brissett on the other end.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick whispering in the air. Makes sense. Hi, Jacoby.
Throw it to Jacoby. Don't throw it to Jacoby.
Yes.
Jacoby should throw it to Jacoby.
It's very confusing. Javon Sack need a running back and a flex in PPR between Raheem Mostert, Brian Robinson, DJ Moore, Rondale Moore. Mm-hmm. Who you going with, Howard?
Well, obviously the flex is the same person. I got that same feeling that you actually just verbalized right now when I heard Rondale Moore's name. I'll take him against Seattle, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Right? So then it comes down to either Brian Robinson tonight or Raheem Mostert against Minnesota. He says he's playing. He says he's fine. He's not worried about. I don't see why you wouldn't give it to Mostert here. Just he's taken over that backfield.
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds, he gone.
Skylar Thompson at quarterback. I mean, it's almost like a guarantee they're going to run the ball through Mostert. So yeah. Mostert and Rondale Moore. Yes.
Done.
Also, are we getting, or which wins are we getting tonight? 30 points or -2? I don't think it's the 30-point game for him, unfortunately. I'm not feeling it.
I also don't necessarily know if it's a -2 game for him. Maybe it's like 8.2 points.
Makes sense. I'll give him 11.3.
I'm going 6.4 now.
The over/under.
You know what though? I wrote this out in the Showdown lineup, and you know what? I'd like to share this with you, Tara. I don't know if you've read the Showdown lineup today, or my rundown, but in the dart throws section, which is always my favorite section. I love the dart throws. Where did it go? There it is. Thursday night. No, beep, boop, beep. I don't know where the hell it went. It should be here somewhere. Where is? Oh, there it is. Thursday night Showdown slate. Here we go. Sorry for the delay. DFS dart throws. Strictly a gut feeling here, but for some reason I feel like this could be the time Wentz gets sacked and hurt, or just his ineffectiveness in the first half pushes head coach Matt Eberflus into it wasn't supposed to be Eberflus, it's Ron Rivera, into benching him, and we get another look at Taylor Heineke. You only do this if you're a multi-entry lineup player, but couldn't you just see it? Heineke comes in for the second half, throws for 2 touchdowns, puts the Commanders back into this game. Ooh, little food for thought.
I can see it. It sounds very Rivera. Is what it sounds.
It does. I'm so happy though that my proofreaders didn't catch the Matt Eberflus instead of Ron Rivera. Remind me on Monday, Tara, to say something at the staff meeting.
I need some proofreaders because so for our Dynasty Viper show, we do start sits, and consistently for like the past 3 weeks, I don't know if I get really tired towards the end at tight end, but I have consistently every single time mixed up the matchup and said the wrong team and all of their statistics every single time on tight end. I think I just get very tired and switch the team that the tight end is actually playing for. So I feel you on that. Mm-hmm.
I just fixed it. There you go. I'm my own editor.
Yes. Next question from Distillery One. I absolutely hate asking this question. I need a kicker. Who should I pick up? There's quite a few options there.
I'm looking at them.
The one that stands out to me is actually Cairo Santos. I might go ahead and do that one.
For tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see, right? Is this not like this game have 16-13 written all over it?
Mm-hmm.
With multiple.
And I was actually looking at this specifically for the Showdown. He's had 3 50-yard field goals in the past 2 weeks. So, I don't know. You could do worse.
I think you do, though. And we're going to say Cairo Santos.
Yes. Hopefully as a 50-yarder or two. And then finally, the most important question from Distillery for Howard, Pepper or Primus?
Oh, I mean, you got to go with Primus. You have to go with Primus here. That's just that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
One day Howard will teach me this music stuff. My reference points are all like 90s R&B or like right now. That's the only there's no
right, which are two things that I really just don't know anything about. I know nothing about like modern day music. Nothing. Yeah,
I listen to a lot of Kids Bop. So I know a lot of modern day music. It's just the Kids Bop version.
Oh, well, there you go. The Perils. Do you want to do some, can you sing some Wiggles songs for us?
Yeah.
Can you sing the theme to Blue's Clues right now?
Oh my gosh, no, I can do Dora Explorer. I just make up all kinds of Dora the Explorer theme song versions for the backpack song. Anyway, let me not get into it and get it stuck in my head. From Javon Sack, question: Jacoby Mariota, Pickett, or Rush over Wentz? It's getting ugly out here. It is getting ugly out at streaming quarterbacks. It is getting ugly. I don't know if I like any of those over Wentz. I might just go ahead and
stick with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you could go to Pickett if you think that they're just going to keep chucking the ball around in the second half, but yeah, I'd probably just stay with Wentz.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And then one more, and then I think we can go build our lineups. Although Howard already built his.
Well, I'm leaving that room for all the people who, because I was thinking about this. You know how we do I go to the YouTube channel because you need the subscription to get your questions answered, discussion, things like that. I think when I go to the YouTube channel, we don't give any kind of rationale or anything like that. We just rapid fire give those answers, right? So if you want us to spend some time, some care, compassion, and some energy, well, then you go to fantasyalarm.com, right? /NFL, where is it? fantasyalarm.com/NFL deal. Right here at the bottom, it says promo code NFL50. Get you 50% off. That gets you into Discord and gives us all this like time to sit and talk and hang out and answer your questions. If you're just freebieing it over on the old YouTube, well, then you're just going to get the answers and that's it. No one else.
And you want to, because I see Howard answering questions all the time, and you need his sage wisdom. You need it.
I don't know about that.
It's sage wisdom. That's what I'm coining. It's Howard's sage wisdom that I'm coining. Trademark. But one more question trademark. One more question from the Discord: Pitts or Taysom Hill? Oh. Full PPR. Don't kill me, Howard.
I mean, listen, Pitts he went back to practice, and you could turn around and just go with Pitts and hope for the best, right? I'll lean Pitts. If you were asking me about some other schlub tight end, I'd probably easily say Taysom Hill. But I think with the fact that every wide receiver for the Saints, I think, is out. We're looking at like Marquez Callaway and Traquan Smith are going to be the top two guys. I feel like they'll just continue to try to run the football with Taysom Hill and do that. And Cincinnati's kind of on to them a little bit about that. So I would probably just go with Pitts because I think if you're in a full point PPR, he's going to see some targets. I'd rather get the 4 catches for 38 yards than to take a 0 from Taysom Hill. And I'm fine with Taysom Hill.
See, I'm not fine with Taysom Hill. I got beef with Taysom Hill.
Do tell.
I'm tired of him taking away the touchdowns from my. Can you imagine what that Kamara game would have? Just one touch. Like, can you just like slide one over? Just a little generosity over here to Alvin Kamara. So I am not a Taysom Hill fan, but I would start Taysom Hill because I've gotten to the point where I've accepted at the tight end position. I'm almost willing to forego those 6-7 points from whatever tight end I'm throwing in and forego that on the upside chance that we can get something from Taysom Hill, even if it's not going to be that same performance. But if we can get just like, a touchdown and like 40 yards out of him, I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with Taysom Hill. I've come to terms with it. So I lean that direction with accepting the 0 he could provide.
Did you read my article in the New York Post this week? Because I did. Because I did. I said it's like fantasy YOLO. Just put Taysom Hill in there. Yeah. I mean, you run as much of a risk of Taysom Hill giving you a 0 as any other tight end not named Kelsey or Andrews can give it to you.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I'm okay with it.
Obviously, there are guys like Ertz or Goddard who I would definitely start him over Taysom Hill. But once you start moving down into this Kyle Pitts,
Schultz,
Gerald Everett, they've always got some promise, but overall, no. So I said, you got to fantasy YOLO it and just put Taysom. Just open up the Fab wallet, get yourself some Taysom Hill, and just stick it in your tight end spot. That's it, and just leave him there. Mm-hmm. Leave him there. If he gives you a 0, accept it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You went for the upside. You didn't get it, but you didn't really lose that much. So don't cry over it. It's fine. Go ahead.
All right, let's build some lineups here.
Yes.
DFS Showdown.
Some lineups.
We need like theme music here, right? Yes, like even like a Wheel of Fortune, like a ba 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 ba. Right. Talk to our producer Matt Sells out there. Matt Sells. We need some music thrown in over this. Work on that.
I agree.
I think Matt Sells just gave me the finger, and I can't even see him.
He said, no, you will not. All right. Howard, your lineup. What are you looking like?
My lineup looks like this. In the captain's seat, Chicago Bears defense. Yum, yum, give me some. They have 8 takeaways. I think, what do they have? They have, it's an okay number, like 9 or 10 sacks on the season. So I think that the Bears D is my captain's seat. I'm also going to use the Washington Commanders D because I think that the Bears offense is completely inept. And again, I see this game being like 16-13. So that means I'm using both kickers. Hello, Cairo Santos. Hello, Joey Sly. Give me that. And so I'm doing this on DK here, actually, because I wanted to get in the 2 players, one who I absolutely love and cheer for, and the other one who's all about screwing everybody over. So give me Brian Robinson and give me Darnell Mooney. And that's my lineup right there.
I like it. I think you've convinced me to do so. I was going to do Montgomery and captain, but that's a little obvious. Oh, so I think you've convinced me to do Bears defense, but I am still going to include Montgomery because I do want to include both Montgomery and Robinson.
Okay.
So I've got Bears captain, Montgomery and Robinson. I did say already that I do like Cairo Santos for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got 2 more spots. Can you convince me to do Darnell Mooney?
I can. Absolutely. It's Darnell Mooney. I mean, at some point, things will start clicking, and you'll see the deep passes from Justin Fields to Darnell Mooney. Why not tonight? The secondary for the Washington football. Oh, I own the Washington football team. Listen to me. The Washington Commanders, right? All right, so here you go. They give up 235 yards per game through the air. They've allowed 11 passing touchdowns. 11. Opposing quarterbacks have a 103.7 passer rating against them, so they're nice and efficient. And while maybe that tells you, maybe you tandem it up. Maybe you Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney. Right? I
just did that. Mm-hmm.
Feisty. So what's the whole lineup then?
So it is let's go Bears. We're going Bears DST. We're going Brian Robinson because it just makes too much sense. If someone's going to score, it's him. Cairo Santos, give me that long field goal. David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, Justin Fields. It is a Bears kind of day for me.
I've got the Bears winning this game anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I like it.
I'm with you. We can
I
make
like
it, I'll tell you what, make it 17-16 Bears.
Yes.
They win it on a last-second field goal by Cairo Santos. So they get 2 touchdowns, one from Mooney, one from Montgomery. Okay, right? And then you get some good rushing yards from Justin Fields. Okay, the touchdown for Washington's side, because they're going to get like a whole bunch of other field goals. The touchdown then goes to Brian Robinson. Bears D. Sack him up, sack lunch, holding him to 16 points. Cockapoo-poo.
That's it. I like a good script. I love a good game script.
I love it too.
Do we have those YouTube questions that we want to run through?
All right, yeah. Oh, we got plenty. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Here you go. We're gonna rapid fire it. First one is always one of the ones that I love the most. So you might need a pen and paper for this one, Tara. Need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb, Gabe Davis, Ramondre Stevenson, Kenneth Walker, Jeff Wilson, and Breece Hall.
So my math is not super good, but
I'm with you.
But some of those names, God. So the first 3 for sure, right?
Chase, Deebo, and CeeDee Lamb. That's 2 wide receivers and your flex.
So what was the next one after that I think kind of rang an alarm for me?
Gabe Davis.
Yeah. I think Gabe is going to be the one that I'm sitting.
Okay. And now you need 2 running backs out of Stevenson, Walker, Wilson, and Breece Hall.
And it's going to be Stevenson and Breece Hall for me.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cam Greasy says he's expecting a slight improvement. I'm not sure what that's for. Sean McGuire, Kareem Hunt, or Eno Benjamin?
Eno Benjamin.
Oh, Joey Von Sack put his question in here too. We don't do that. We don't double up. We don't double up here. Darnell Mooney or Brian Robinson tonight? PPR.
PPR, Darnell Mooney.
Oh, somebody says, Sean McGuire says, is this live Connor ruled out for week 6? Was James Conner officially ruled out?
Did we get that live during the... I didn't see that during, but it's not looking good. I mean, at this point, you should feel. I don't think we got the official out, but I did think I saw something earlier that was very more than likely no.
That he didn't play. He didn't practice today again, yeah. And they brought something in. All right, here you go. Sources: Aaron Wilson, who works for Pro Football Network. Sources say Cardinals James Conner expected to miss Seattle game with the rib injury. Perfect. Beautiful. Yep. Love that. Mm-hmm. Give me all the Eno Benjamin you can possibly give me. Love it. All right, here you go. PPR flex play, Mooney or DJ Moore?
I'm kind of feeling DJ Moore.
Okay. Brian Robinson tonight or Christian Kirk on Sunday?
It's not a good matchup for Christian Kirk, but you still got to go with it. The targets are there.
All right. Need a boost on running back, quarterback, half-point PPR. Who can I trade? Running back, I've got Taylor, Mostert, Miles, Pollard, Brian Robinson. Who can you trade? Nursing with John, just start talking about deals with the rest of your league. Pick out the guys who you want to start on a regular basis. Jonathan Taylor, and Miles Sanders, which means that Brian Robinson, Mostert, and Pollard all become expendable for you. You want to try and hold on to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which then puts Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman, Ayuk, Bateman, and Lockett all available for you. To do that. And that's it. Just take 2 or 3 of those guys and go target a top player. That's it. Yes. That's my lesson for today. 16-man, half-point PPR. Brian Robinson tonight or Robbie Anderson or Jaylen Warren?
Oh, you know what? Go ahead and go with Brian Robinson tonight. Look for that touchdown. I'm not feeling Robbie Anderson.
All right. Do you flex Brian Robinson tonight or use David Njoku?
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
That's
Tara.
tough. That's tough. Njoku.
Wow. I did
Yeah, I
not
know.
think you were
I
going to go
know.
that way.
I know. You didn't think I was.
I
Yeah.
love him
I
too.
feel more positive towards him. Yeah.
Like of all the trashy garbage tight ends in the world, he's actually one of my favorite trashy tight ends.
Yeah, you know what's wild is I drafted him in a deep league, and then after week 1, I abandoned ship quickly. Now I think I did it for like a good reason, but now I'm really angry at myself for that.
How are we feeling about this trade? Traded away Hollywood Brown and Tony Pollard for CeeDee Lamb and Najee Harris.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Me too. Thoughts on David Bellinger, tight end for the New York Football Giants? Would you use him over Gesicki?
Yeah, I would. I'm anti-Gesicki. I mean, I like the direction Bellinger's going. I do.
Me too.
His involvement is good.
Alec Pierce or Isaiah McKenzie?
Isaiah McKenzie.
Chris D says I'm 4-1, 12-man PPR. Make any moves or keep the depth. Oh, and he just lists me his whole team. Keep the depth. You're 4-1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're good.
Right. Curtis Samuel or Christian Kirk?
Kirk. I hate the matchup. I really do. I'm having a hard time with Christian Kirk this week. I really am.
Oh, it's okay.
I know. And I love him, but I'm having a hard time with it. But Christian Kirk.
I understand. How do you feel about trading Joe Mixon and Pat Freiermuth for Travis Kelce?
I mean, if you're fine at running back and can afford, if you drafted fine and you can afford to lose Mixon, I'm good with that.
Yes, I agree with that statement 100%. Jeff Wilson or David Montgomery?
Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson. Mr. Scampers wants you to sing the Blues Clues theme, but to the tune of Footloose. Can you do it?
I cannot sing to the tune of Footloose.
Do you not know Footloose?
I probably do, but I would have to get a tip off of
Now I gotta cut loose, foot loose, kick off my Sunday shoes. Come on, you know it. Blues Clues. Blues Clues. I don't know the theme to Blues Clues.
I said I'm better with Dora the Explorer. Backpack.
But do you know whether Brian Robinson or J.K. Dobbins is the way you should go?
Go ahead and go J.K. Dobbins.
I like that too. And which two should I start between Montgomery, Melvin Gordon, and Kenneth Walker?
I mean, it's Montgomery or Melvin Gordon. I think I might go ahead and just go with Montgomery.
Montgomery it is.
Yeah.
Grab Geno. Can Russ be safely dropped in a 12-team league, or would you hold him?
So this is the tough one. Are you fully committed to Geno Smith?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you fully committed to Geno? Are you rolling with Geno?
I mean, I've got Geno, and I benched Russell Wilson for Geno Smith, and I'm rolling with that until Russ figures it out. But I'm not dropping.
But you're holding Russ. Okay,
I'm holding him.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Last question, then we got to get out of here. We're running over, baby.
We are.
Pickens or Mooney? Perfect way to end it.
Pickens
it is, and that's going to do it.
Yes.
You're the best, Tara. Thanks for staying late.
Always. With the time change, we can afford a little time before we have to go and double check DFS and lineups and everything. So we got a little bit of time before the kickoff of the show.
Well, are we pushing the
clock? Going a little bit earlier. So we're good. We're good.
Oh, I thought you were saying that we were pushing the clocks back this Sunday or something.
Oh, no. I never know that.
Okay.
I never know that.
All right. Well, then get us the heck out of here then.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Fantastic show. Fantastic questions. We will be back again next week. So make sure you tune in again. And make sure you go enjoy this game. Watch it. Hopefully, it's a little bit more exciting than we anticipate. Put your DFS lineups in. Remember the sage advice of Howard. We are doing Chicago, DST, in the captain spot and seeing how that goes. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. For Howard, I am Tara. We will see you next week. Have a fantastic week.